Do you want to buy OP12 but aren't sure if now is a good time to do so? Do you wish that there was an all-inclusive guide to tell you what you should be looking out for when purchasing cards as well as sealed product for OP12? All that and more on today's episode of Beginner's Guides. But first, attention all One Piece fans. The Buds will be running a giveaway of an illustration box featuring the beautiful Nami and Boa Hancock promo cards for one lucky subscriber on the road to 1,000. To enter, all you need to do is like, comment, and subscribe, as well as be a resident of the United States. Anyways, guys, that's it for now, so back to the video. Hello, everyone. My name is Nick, and welcome back to One Piece Beginner's Guides, where I do my best to teach you everything you need to know about collecting the One Piece trading card game. On today's episode, we're going to be doing a deep dive into OP12 as we're currently in pre-release to get you ready for the official release day coming up this Friday. Without any further ado, let's get right underway by looking at box hits and case hit rates. All right, folks, let's get right underway discussing box hit rates as well as case hits. So, boxes for OP12 are going to be the same as they are for every other One Piece set, being you're going to have a 2-hit box or a 3-hit box. The amount of 2-hit versus 3-hit boxes you get can vary, but at a bare minimum, you're going to be getting 6 3-hit boxes, including 4 alt-art leaders as well as 2 SPs. Where the variables come in is through the addition of the 2 manga event cards, which are not guaranteed in the case as they previously were in other sets, as well as the ability to get a treasure rare. Also, you are no longer guaranteed to get an alt-art SEC. This was a little bit mind-blowing to Dom and I when we did our case opening over the weekend. We did not hit an alt-art SEC. I didn't even know that was possible in One Piece, but apparently with OP12, you are not guaranteed an alt-art SEC. The good news is, though, is that for anyone out there looking to play yellow, you are going to get 8 SECs no matter what, including 4 Bonnie and 4 Kuma, so that's going to be an awesome transition, for people out there looking to play yellow with Kuma in their deck. Additionally, you're going to be looking out for, of course, getting the Jewelry Bonnie manga. Hit rates are going to be the same as it is for mangas and other set, 1 every 3 to 4 cases. And then lastly, you do have the opportunity to get either the Silver Blackbeard or the Gold Blackbeard SEC. Now, I've seen videos where people hit that, and it looks like it can fill in the role of an SEC. However, I don't know if that's true or not, so I can't say wholeheartedly that's it. What I do know is that I did see someone pull that, and it did look like it filled up a spot of an SEC. So don't worry about the Blackbeard taking up an SP spot or a alt-art leader spot, and you also don't have to worry about the manga taking up an alt-art leader spot as well as an SP. So it's just a free extra hit, which is awesome. All right, guys, now that we discussed case hit rates as well as box hit rates, we're going to move on to discussing what you should be looking out for when buying cards during pre-release. All right, guys, so moving on to looking at current status of raw cards, I will say, as a disclaimer, TCG Player is not going to have every single card listed in the set currently, so if there's something particular you're looking for, you're going to want to go ahead and comp it on eBay, so just keep that in mind. If there's any card that you are looking for that you don't see here today, it's likely because it's not on TCG Player yet, so you're going to have to comp it through another means. One thing a lot of people don't know about TCG Player, especially when it comes to pre-sale, is that only verified sellers, which are typically card shops, are allowed to be posting cards during pre-release or sealed product during pre-release. So this is not open up to the general market, which is why eBay would be a better resource if you are looking to buy cards. Now, one thing that's really, really important to note about OP12 is that it's a very, very meta-heavy set with the introduction of Green Zoro, my boy, that's going to be the deck I'm playing, as well as the Red Silvers Rayleigh. And there is a little bit of a popularity going around with Blue Kuzan, as well as the Green-Purple Rosinante. So a lot of very meta cards coming out of this set. And of course, as I have always said, the more important a set is to the meta, the more expensive alt-art cards in particular are going to be. So I want to set that premise because it's really important to note that from a collector's perspective, we are in no rush to buy any of these cards. So, for example, if you want to buy every Luffy card in the world, and you're going to see a Luffy card that is an alt-art in this set going for a X amount of money, which is a little bit more than you're looking to pay, if you are patient, you wait, a couple months down the line when more reprints come out, these card prices are going to go down. Again, another disclaimer I want to make is that as a collector, I never recommend buying a card during pre-release. With pre-release coming out comes inflated pricing, which always goes down over time once the full release cycle runs and subsequent prints come out. So again, guys, if there's one card in particular you really want to get, be patient. These card prices are going to go down. Don't feel the need to panic buy. So we're starting off here looking at the most expensive cards in the set. We have the Marshall D. Teach Gold, super sick card. Market price listed at $1,500. Let's see if there's been a sale so far, as there have been 2 sales at $1,500 in pre-release. So again, if you're looking to buy the Marshall D. Teach Gold card, wait about 2 to 3 months down the line. That's when you're going to see this likely bottom. And my guesstimation is I think this is going to sit around $1,250, $1,300 at its lowest. As a contrast, the gold Luffy right now is from OP11, currently sitting around $2,200, with the silver Luffy at around $1,200. So again, when you think about the gold Luffy, when it came out, it was worth around $5,000 in pre-release. It's gone down substantially, and it's likely the Teach will do so. Nothing too crazy, but again, if you really want to have this card in your collection, be patient, guys. Following that up, Silver Teach, again, looking right now that it's going to market price is $1,250, lowest listed $1,200. Let's see if there's been any sales on it. One sale is at $1,250, so that's the actual comp on it. Again, as the same cases for the Gold Teach, patience. If you really want the card, wait in it, guys. And that's going to be the thing I'm going to be repeating nonstop during this video, which is do not give in to the FOMO. Do not panic buy during pre-release. Any card you want, especially when it comes to One Piece, is going to go down. I know as a contrast for Pokemon, you tend to see card pricing go up in certain situations. For example, the Surging Sparks Pikachu, it blew up from pre-release of Surging Sparks through the 6-month release window. Now it's gone down back into reality from a higher print number of packs, so it's more readily available. So again, typically the way it operates, the more often this card is in print, the higher probability it has of going down. Following that up, you have the Jewelry Bonnie manga. Personally, a super sick card. One that I want to add to my personal collection. Currently sitting market price $650. I think the Bonnie manga is probably going to end up being bottom $400 if you compare it to other characters with similar popularity, such as Law. Law has had a couple mangas which vary from OP10 manga being around $350 bottom, OP05 manga again bottoming around $500. So I think Bonnie is gonna be fluctuating in price. Now I will say, I'll put an asterisk up there, and that Bonnie is a very important character in the anime right now. So there might be a little bit of a tax just because the anime is so centered around Bonnie and her story right now. I think over time, again, it's going to end up Bonnie at 400, so do not feel the need to purchase this card. Following that, we have this super sick card, the card I plan on buying and running as my deck. We have the Roronoa Zoro, Alt-Art Leader with Mihawk in the background. You see that the lowest listed is at $170, market price still is at $200. Let's see what the sales have been looking like. Again, guys, already going down, so it's got 4 sold at $185. And again, going down, lowest listed is looking at $170, including shipping. So people aren't even buying at that price. When it comes to Alt-Art Leaders especially, they do tend to always go down over price. Again, in a case, you're guaranteed 4 Alt-Art Leaders. I think there's a total of 6 in this set. So the probability of there being a lot of Zoros that come in the marketplace within the next 3 months is very high. Be patient. If you're a collector, you want every Zoro card, aka my boy Dom. Again, be patient. These cards are going to come into circulation. Price is going to go down. I think a really good price to buy the Zoro Alt-Art Leader is right around $80, which is a similar trajectory that UP Luffy went on for OP11, which is a super meta card. So again, given the popularity of Zoro, given the meta impact OP12 Zoro has on the current state of the meta, I think, again, this leader card is going to retain a good amount of value, but I think it bottoms probably around $70, $80, similar to UP Luffy, which is still, again, I think UP Luffy is around $50 at this point. So it's going to be a similar trajectory. After that, we have the Zoro Juro SP sitting at 180, lowest listed 163. Again, shout out my boy Dom. You're welcome for that card. So I'll go ahead and put up the clip right here. But Dom and I, every time we open up a case or we ever open up boxes for a set, we always have a gentleman's agreement where we claim one card from each other. As in, no matter what, if you hit that card, you're giving it to you're giving it to the other guy. The card I claimed was the Ace SP. Dom claimed the Zoro SP. The irony is, we actually did pull the Ace SP. However, that went to a member of the community who ended up purchasing the box from the case. So I missed out on the Ace SP. Dom ended up getting my Zoro SP. It happens. It's all part of the gentleman's agreement, but, you know, maybe one day in the future I'll be able to snag a pretty nice card off of him. Zoro, Juro, SP, and all the SPs in general, I think are going to go down over time. Again, don't worry about buying this card immediately. I can see this card hitting probably around 120 on bottom, similar to the Zoro SP from OP09. And I would recommend you strike it within the next 3 months. Again, typically the way the trajectory works is that all the print comes out, all these cards come in, prices sink, and then once printing slows down, all the collectors cards and the meta cards start going back up in price because they're not really being printed as much in circulation. Following that, Ace SP, Kuzan SP, Tashigi SP. I'm just going to classify all the SPs together. Again, do not panic buy right now. Do not give in to the FOMO. I want a copy of all the SPs, but I'm not giving in to the FOMO. I'm going to wait 2 to 3 months before I buy them to hopefully get all-time low pricing. Following that, we have the Silver's Rayleigh alt-art leader. Again, Rayleigh, a very, very meta leader right now, getting a lot of popularity in OP12. This is a card that I do see going down. I think it's going to bottom around $60. So again, no need to worry about panic buying it if you want the card. I think the art is really sick with Luffy and Rayleigh on it. Again, the whole sequence of this set is dedicated to Master and Pupil. So again, like seeing that contrast. Following that, we have the longest card name I've ever seen in my entire life, so I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to say Demon Asura. That's what I'm going to say. Super, super sick card. I love this moment when Zoro goes sicko mode against Kaido. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorite Zoro moments for sure. I think this card is awesome. The art in it is cool. I want it for my PC, but again, I think there's going to be a lot of these in cycle. Although the manga event cards aren't guaranteed, I do think there's going to be a lot of them that come out in production. You're going to see this card likely go down. I think it bottoms around $60. That's when I'm going to be looking to strike, so I would wait until then. After that, you have all the alt-art cards. We're going to just focus on a few of the meta ones. So again, you have the Nico Robin alt-art, which I hear is a meta card. Also, is really cool art. I can't say for certain. I haven't played against a black deck that runs Robin yet, so I can't say that. But a card I definitely know is going to be meta is going to be this Kuma alt-art. I think you're going to see this card retain a good amount of value just because of how much of a staple it is to yellow. My boy JKA, when he was playing yellow against me, he had 4 Kumas in every iteration of yellow that he ran. So, again, a very important card. I can see this going down around $40. And around then, if you're looking to pick up, you know, right now with what's going on in the anime, Kuma, a very, very prevalent character. If you want to be a Kuma collector, go ahead and wait until that thing drops around $40 and look for your time to strike. After that, we have another super meta card. We have the Mihawk alt art. Mihawk is a staple in the Zoro deck, so that's why you're going to see Mihawk pricing likely stay a little bit high. Again, similar to the Kuma, I imagine this card probably bottoms around $30. And again, if you're a really big Mihawk fan, you can look to pick up a copy then, but do not worry about giving into the FOMO now. After that, we do have Bo Hancock, a decent card that's going to be, I believe, a staple into the Red Rayleigh deck. That is going to also go down in time. So again, guys, all these alt-arts are going to go down because more is going to be in production. Do not feel the need to give into the FOMO on any cards in this set. I don't think there's anything particular where you need to buy immediately in order to avoid the prices potentially going up within the next 3 months or so. I do want to note one card in particular that I think is super cool and is important, which is this Tashigi. So this is the Tashigi card with art done by Peach Momoko, a comic book artist who has done a lot of great work in the comic book industry. A lot of super, super important Marvel comics have been done by Peach Momoko. And I think that art looks super sick. Not only that, that Tashigi card is really, really meta right now. And it's a staple of Green Zoro. So I'm not sure where that card's going to end up. I think it can end up around $30 or $25. So not having nearly as extreme as a fall as some of the other cards I've listed. Keep an eye on that Tashigi, guys. Peach Momoko, as well as the card being super meta, could be a little bit of a perfect storm when it comes to card price in that one. After that, we do have a Ghost of the Bonnie SEC. SECs in general always go down because no matter what, you're guaranteed 8 copies in a case, guys. 8 copies in a case of the set. You're going to see this go down. In conclusion on this section, again, don't give in to FOMO. Be patient. Any card in particular that you want is going to be more affordable and go down in price after a few months pass and official release has begun. So be patient. All right. So now that we finished discussing the cards of OP12 and what I project their final value to be at, let's go ahead and move on to discussing sealed products. All right, guys, now we're going to be discussing sealed products. So we're going to be looking at booster boxes as well as case pricing. Currently, you see Legacy of the Master sitting at $125 pre-release, which means that the box pricing is likely going to be lower at the time of release. Again, guys, if you watch any of the videos in this series, whenever I talk about sealed product, MSRP on One Piece boxes currently is $120 a box. So I think that's probably where we're going to end up seeing Legacy of the Master end up at. I think you're going to see the box pricing go down even more. I think Legacy of the Master over the next 3 months, you're going to see a bottom probably right around 110. I can't imagine it going to 105. I think that'd be a little bit too extreme. When you're looking at the overall impact of the set in terms of to the meta as well as the cool cards in it for collectors, I would say that I think this set is comparable, if not a little bit better than OP06. So I think long-term box pricing will probably reflect that over the next year. OP06 has kind of been fluctuating between 160 140 a box for the last 6 months. So I can see Legacy of the Master going back up over time. I can't imagine it having any trajectory similarly to OP09, where it just kind of blew up recently, or OP05. Again, the specialty sets kind of operate in a special way. I think that's something that's going to be more comparable for OP13 when it comes out. So again, if you want to pick up some boxes, MSRP is always the way to go, and I think you're going to be able to do so from your local game store this Friday. So keep an eye out for paying MSRP. I would not, unless you're buying pre-release. If you're buying pre-release, you're always going to pay a little bit of a surplus because you're having earlier access to the products and the cards. I will not recommend that people purchase boxes if they haven't already until release day. Guys, wait the 3 days. Don't worry about it. Don't give in to the FOMO and feel like I need to buy an entire case right now. Wait until the official release comes out. Box pricing is going to go down. Again, if you already purchased boxes during pre-release and you paid a little bit of a surplus on it, not a big deal because you are given the benefits of pre-release, right? You're given access to the cards earlier, and the cards have an increased price. You're given access to the product at an earlier time. So again, you're conferred a benefit. I wouldn't regret paying maybe $5 to $10 more for a box on this. So don't sweat that if you did end up doing that. But anyways, again, I think long term, I see this bottoming around 110 before it goes up. After the second wave of print comes out, you're going to start seeing less and less OP12 in the marketplace. And eventually, I think within the year, it's going to settle probably around 160 a box, similar to OP06. When looking at case price for now, guys, you have case pricing dipping. Looks like last case sold for around $14.50, 7 items sold. So again, right around that MSRP mark is what people are looking to pay for these cases. I think that's awesome, and it's really affordable. So in my impression, I've seen a lot of people have access to this product either for pre-sale or claiming that they have a lot, like local game stores online claiming to have a lot of products they're looking to sell. It almost comes across as Bandai printed this set to the ground, which I'm all for. Bandai, if you want to go ahead and do that, you're going to do that. I am curious though what's going to happen to these sets as we start getting closer to that date next year where Bandai was hoping to integrate Japanese printing as well as printing in the US to have one global release day. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how that's going to affect print runs for all these sets. For all I know, Bandai might never print a Wave 2 for some of these future sets. I have no clue. But again, guys, I think if we just look at what's happened previously in the One Piece game when it comes to print, I won't worry about it. If you can't get a box from MSRP, do so, rip it, and enjoy it, guys. Now, let's go ahead and let's talk about our conclusion. All right, guys, in conclusion and to summarize, pre-releases here. Do not give in to the FOMO. Do not feel the need to buy any of these cards for an inflated price. Be patient. Wait the next couple months. If you want to buy a certain card, it's likely to go down in price. There are some variables that you need to keep an eye out for. So, of course, some of these cards might not go down as much as I predicted, or they might even go up for a time, depending on how relevant they are to the meta and the current state of the game. So just always keep that in mind whenever you're collecting. Anyways, guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video and for continuing to support this series. I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to pass along my knowledge and experience to all of you in hopes that it helps you along your collecting journey. If you can, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Every interaction really helps. And if you agree with me, that go and write that in the comments like, hey, I agree with you. If you disagree with me, you think I'm an idiot, feel free to do so as well in the comments. Always like having a little bit of conversation and discourse with you guys in order to help, again, build the community as much as possible. Anyways, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day and happy ripping this Friday. Enjoy OP12. It's a super fun set, and I hope you guys have some amazing hits. All right, guys, I'll catch y'all on the next one.